You know, a few years ago, I bought an iron rifle uh, that needs a special pump to function. At first, everything worked fine, but after a few weeks of use, the pump started failing. In a normal situation, you will search for an expert to solve the issue. But at that moment, in my town, there wasn't any expert that I can uh, contact and well uh, ask them to resolve the problem. So what I do, I take the problem by my hands, but I didn't know anything at that moment about this type of pump or airflow. So the first thing I do was to try to understand the mechanism. For that, I research on internet and I find only one video about the general system, but it was enough for me to understand how it works. So after that, I do a little bit of research and to how disassemble this because it was a complex uh, artifact. So I began disassemble the pump, uh, which so being so carefully taking every piece in order and taking photos of every step so in case I don't remember something later I will have a backup and I clean everything because it was my first hypothesis that it can be dirty and for that maybe it wasn't working. So I clean everything. I put everything together and try the pump, but it didn't work. I make a new hypothesis. I made a new hypothesis, and once again I disassemble all the pump, being very carefully, and I change a piece called O-ring, a little rough. Put everything together, try the pump, didn't work. I do this several times during a few hours uh, until I finally find the problem. It was a tiny, tiny piece, so small it was very difficult to see the problem. Anyway, I changed this piece, put everything together again. Uh, at that time, I was really an expert uh, disable and putting everything in order again. I try and work perfectly, but why did I tell you this story? Because this is how I solve every problem in my life and including software development. Even if I don't know how to solve it or if I have few resources, I am very confident in my skill to solve the problem and I know I will solve even like I said before if I don't know how at the beginning.